Despite the sign on my right reading Bridge North, I'm at the engine house at Highley, where a group of volunteers have taken their hobby and organised the O-Gauge get-together, and safe to say things are right on track.
Well, traditionally this weekend, first weekend in September or the last weekend in August, was always the big Gauge O-Guild exhibition. And last year, of course, obviously it was cancelled because of the height of COVID. And we all thought it was going to be going ahead this year, but they chose to cancel it again because of the uncertainty about what was happening. And so me and Martin said, wouldn't it be nice just to get a few O-Gauge lads in the railway together to put something on? And, well, yeah, we mentioned it to Tom and Harry. And it sort of took off from there because everybody was free this weekend. We had layouts that were going to go to the Gauge O-Guild event, said they'd come along, and they were so keen to do it, they said they'd come along for free. Traders who were keen to get going again, having not traded for 18 months, have come along. So we've got 5 layouts here. 2 of them are quite famous from magazines and from the Big Worley show for Best in Show. We've got specialist etch kit producers who've got, you know, really high quality kits, and we got Alan with his 3D body scanning. All have come along just to sort of, because they're so frustrated at not being able to do anything for a long time. So that's how it all started, and it just took off from a let's see what we can manage.
Tom, tell me about the layout behind you and how long it's taken you, where it's based.
So this is Burlish Road. There's 4 of us that are volunteers on the loco department at Bewdley. We're big avid O-Gauge modellers. We bought the layout 3 years ago. It was a part-finished German layout that we bought cheaply off eBay. And we've adapted it. We've put British buildings on, built some platforms, digitised the lot by adding point decoders, signal decoders. It all works digitally off our phones and iPads. It's a representation of what might be or what could be if the Severn Valley ever extended towards Stourport, Burlish being the small village halfway between Bewdley and Stourport. This is a representation of what it could be. It's a bit elaborate, of course, because we like playing trains. We've got factory units, we've got a loco shed, we've got a turntable. You know, it's mainly a layout for playing and for showing off what we've got. But being as there's 4 of us and we're all Severn Valley volunteers, we've got quite a varied selection of locos and rolling stock that represent either what ran on the Severn Valley back in the 50s and 60s or what ran on the Severn Valley nowadays.
So can a layout ever be complete? Is this completed? Are you on to the next project?
We've added and added and added, and there's always something you can improve on. We put an extension on this end not so long ago. The next stage is to extend at the other end and make it go a little bit further. The thing is, it fits just about in my dining room between the window and the fridge, and we can just about get the fridge door open. So any extension means that we might not be able to open the fridge as much, which might not be a bad thing in the whole scheme of things.
And you've had a good reaction from visitors today?
So far so good. We've had lots of interest. We've had a lot of, especially the other people that come with the other layouts, they've taken a keen interest in seeing what we've got, and especially the stock side of things. And we're all here to talk to each other, and that's one of the beauties of organising this event, is people with a similar interest have been able to get together and have a good old chat and a good old exchange of ideas, and also spend a bit of money, you know, buy a few kits, buy a few bits and bobs, because we haven't been able to do so for the last 18 months.
You want me to drive the passenger and then you drive your goods in a bit?
This layout, as you can see, is called Ventor West. It's 40 foot long. It's been 20 years in the making. I have built other layouts during that period, but my wife's cousin lives right opposite the still existing station building. We've come here today. It's specifically an O-Gauge show. It's the first show we've done since York 2019. So it'll be the same for the rest of the layouts here. We've not been out since that point, so it's a good test to see if everything still works. This won an award. It went to Worley on complete, so people could see how you go about things. The second year we went there, we won Best in Show. Then we went to York the following year in 2019, and then it ain't been anywhere since. till it
It's a real
came
honour
out.
for people to come and see it today.
Yeah, so it won't be going to many shows because it takes 5 hours to set this up.
Yeah.
We were here early yesterday morning, around 10 o'clock. We didn't leave till 5 o'clock. So it's a lot of work for Jude, my wife, and myself. But we don't mind as long as we got the time to set it up, and here the arrangements were right. So we can have 2 days playing trains if you like. And then we can break it all down on Monday when there's no one here and there's no rush and there's no stress. So that's another big reason why we came here.
Whether it all up, made it to look pretty, really. Obviously, added all the detail to the office, all the detail, the thing they're doing now, work there, saving into it, you know.
So from big locos to medium locos to model railways, it's safe to say that the O Gauge Get Together has been a popular event. If this video has inspired you and you're interested in getting involved with model railways, head over to svrshop.co.uk where there's a whole host of O Gauge, N Gauge and double O Gauge items that you can buy to start your layout out. In the meantime, like, rate and subscribe this video and join us again on the Severn Valley Railway YouTube to find out more.